Hey guys. So I wanted to talk today because I am struggling. I'm really struggling right now. I want to just talk about my health journey, and like I said, I like to document it, and I'm really, really frustrated right now, but I just want to talk about things. So it's funny because when I did my last stream, when I was talking to everybody, one of the things Mysterious asked me is, are there ever times when you feel like global events are, coinciding with your personal life? And it's weird because I feel that way right now. I feel like as the country is kind of backsliding with the pandemic, I feel like in a way my health is backsliding too. But I have to explain what I mean, and it's not actually going backwards. It just, you guys know me, I'm a very linear person, I guess, or black and white. I like things to be this or that. That's why keto really appealed to me, because with keto it was a very black and white diet, and when you're on it you're losing, when you're not, and that's it. This diet that I'm currently on, it's very non-linear. My weight has mostly stayed the same, but it fluctuates a lot. It goes up and down because my fluids are just up and down. It's more of a fluid thing. And it's frustrating to me because you guys know I'm doing it in a much more hormone-focused way. And the issue with that, and with what I'm having to deal with and what I'm doing, is, as I've said, the more fat you lose, the more your estrogen goes up, because it releases it. It releases these particular bad fats into your system, and your metabolism slows, and the estrogen goes higher, and you have a lot of different things that happen because of that. And I was talking in my stream about how I couldn't watch Big Brother anymore, or any of these kind of things, and I feel that it's because more so my mindset is retrograding a bit, because the hormones are, I think my estrogen is staying higher right now, and that's really indicated by endless diarrhea, daily sleep disturbances. I'm sleeping like I did when I was on keto, which is crazy. What that is basically you have one night of good sleep and then one night of short sleep, and you kind of alternate between the two. And I've had that consistently now for quite a while. It's been a week or so, or a week or longer, maybe almost 2 weeks. So I'm kind of transitioning into a phase where this isn't estrogen episodes that flare up and then go away. This is an estrogen season where it's elevated. And I think that this has to do with the fact that I cut out starches around my birthday. So there's a very specific reason why this is happening, and it's because I'm burning more fat, which I can see. Again, the weight fluctuates a lot with fluidity, fluid. And it's frustrating because as the estrogen goes up, the fluid goes up, then it comes down. It's really all over the place. It's really crazy what's going on in my body right now. But it's only so bad because it was so bad. Like I went to such a level with it last year that it was horrible. And it's so interesting because like I can look through my pictures since March. I'm officially 5 months into this journey. Now we're halfway through August and I started this halfway through March. So I'm 5 months in and I have a lot of, I see, you guys know I document everything, so I can see through different pictures where like the dark circles under my eyes, they're fading away and then they come back and then they're fading. Like it's so crazy. Not that they're like worse than ever now, but it's like, it's just so much in flux. It's so much in flux and like I just want to be better. So what I have noticed since quitting the starch is that my thighs especially have gone down a little bit. My stomach is very big because there's a lot of fluid there. And I think, like I said, I think it's just elevated estrogen, permanently elevated. Like it's, as I got off the starch, it just really started to rev up my weight loss. And now I'm in a situation where it's always elevated. So that means like I don't really get a break. And unfortunately, it makes me have less humor. It makes me have less fun. It's not as bad as it was, obviously. And it's certainly not as bad as it got when I was keto, obviously. Like I'm still able to, I'm able to maintain the calm I have in my relationship. For example, I don't really have arguments with my mother as much, but the irritability is there. The sort of anxiety about my relationship, sometimes it's there. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2, but when I'm feeling good, it's a 0. Okay, and so it's like, if it gets worse, then it's maybe a little higher, you know what I mean? But it just sucks because I feel like I'm losing progress, and then sometimes I feel like I'm punished by progress. And I've never understood why I've always felt this way whenever I've tried to lose weight. I always felt like my health was deteriorating every time, and I understand it now. Like, I have answers on why this is happening. And although, like, there is an end in sight, it just really sucks right now. Because I put a lot into this to feel like I'm going backwards, and I don't know how bad it's gonna get before it gets better. And so I have to just stay strong. I feel like more than anything, I'm having so many like liver symptoms lately. Like so much itchiness over my body and just so much of this stuff, so much of it has been overwhelming. And I don't know if it's like a liver detox situation or if it's just trying to process the fat loss, you know what I mean? But I think whatever it is, it's overwhelming it. And I just hope that, like, I feel like if I can get to a point where my liver isn't as fatty, or where my liver isn't fatty, I'll be golden. Like, I feel like once I reach that point, I'll be golden. And it's like, I'm just not there, I can tell. It just sucks. Like, my energy was low today. I just feel like I can't win. And I know that this feeling of sadness it's a symptom, you know, and it's like, I look at the news and I see what's out there, and I see all the fear about what's happening. I see the fear about this never ending, and to a certain extent I can feel it personally, you know. It's like I lose weight in the most random places. The biggest difference I've seen is in my feet. My socks are loose. What the hell? But it's really everywhere. It has gone down except my stomach. My stomach is very, very bloated. And like I said, I have a lot of diarrhea, and I have a lot of estrogen-related symptoms with digestion, mood, being less fun, you know, all these different things, feeling hopeless about the global situation, feeling scared about the future and stuff. Like, this is all estrogen. Because when I'm more in balance, I don't feel like any of this. I feel fine. And it sucks. And it makes sense. It does. It makes sense astrologically. It makes sense logically. You know, it makes sense that over this year, my hormones would be improving month over month. But then they improve so much that I'm losing weight, and it's making it worse. And that's really a bitter pill, because you never want to feel like progress isn't linear. You always want to feel like I'm moving forward at all times, and you're not. You are, but you're not. And maybe that's a greater significance. Maybe that's what's happening in the world right now. Maybe things feel like they're going backwards because they're going forward so much. There's a lot of detox in society, just like in my body. And I don't really want to be negative, you know, and I was slipping into some stuff on my last stream. Like, I was slipping into some of the tribalism, and I could just see, like, I know a lot of you guys really enjoy it when I'm bitchy. I totally get that. I do. I get it. It can be really entertaining. But I don't, it worries me just because, like, you guys know I'm not putting on a front on this channel. So, like, if I'm being a bit bitchy on here, it means I'm also being that in my life. I haven't done anything with my relationship, but I have noticed with my mom, I have been a bit bitchy. Which is harder because I live with her, you know. So, like, she'll catch me off guard, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a different type of thing. So, I'm not, like, I'm not wanting to be doom and gloom, but I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like this, you know, and I get it. Like, if I have to feel this way for a bit longer, I understand. Like, logistically, I can understand it, but it's really, really challenging. And if you've never tried to lose weight or you've never tried something like this, you wouldn't understand how hard it is. It is so hard to put effort towards it and be really trying, see progress, but then feel like you're slipping back. And, you know, although with every other diet I did, my mental health just got worse, you know, when I got on it. And it just accumulated over the years to a certain extent. It's like, it's kind of like a gaslight, you know? Like, it makes me feel like I am slipping backwards again, and I'm not. There's a lot of really irritating things with my body right now, like the itchiness. I have sleep apnea now, because my skin is thickening, particularly here, which is good. I mean, you don't want a jowl. I mean, look, you can see how fast it bounces back. That's great. But the issue is that I still have fat there, so it makes it to where it does block me while I sleep. If I'm not, I have to prop myself up because I lost a lot of back fat. That's another really random place. My feet and my upper back are like weight loss central. It's so weird. But because like like that music is just like, I'm not as irritated as during an estrogen episode, but I'm not irritated. When I sleep, the back fat is gone, so I'm laying back, but I still have a huge gut, and then my ass is huge too. So it lifts up, my ass pushes up my belly, and then the belly like goes down, and then it goes like this, and then this. And it does block my breathing, unless if I basically replace that back fat with a pillow. Because when I was fat before, I didn't have sleep apnea because my back fat it lifted me up and it supported my chest, you know, so it was higher up. So it's like, then I'm like, my shoes, because my socks are loose, it's like they get caught. My foot gets like bunched up at the top, and then the circulation can go off, and it's really irritating. I'm itchy all over from like liver issue, you know, liver symptoms and stuff, and it's really, really hard. I don't know. It's just not at a good point, and I feel sick a lot. I do. You know, I feel, I don't know. It just feels like I'm going backwards. You know, that's what it feels like. It feels like I have diarrhea all the time. I feel like I'm sad. I feel like it feels like nothing fits right. You know, I tried to wear some other shirts because I've been wearing these same shirts because they're all my bigger shirts. And I tried to wear a smaller shirt, but my belly is so bloated from all the fluid and inflammation that I can't wear it. It's like super thin, you know, it fits really well up here, but the belly is too big. And it's just frustrating, you know, it really is. Because on the other hand, like, I'm more noticed in public and stuff. Like, I describe it as reaching a level of humanity. I know that sounds bad, but when you're a really, really fat person, people just don't see you. It's like you don't exist. But because my size has gone down, but my weight is the same, it's so weird. You know, I weigh 377 pounds. And when I was keto, it took until I was like 340 to start to have, you know, people, I call it to reach a level of humanity. So where you're in public and people start talking to you and stuff. That happened to me. And I was like, what the hell? And I was on the phone with Eric and he's like, what? He's like, are you a human now? Like, why are people talking to you? And I was like, I don't know. I It's like, I'm not, in the 330s or anything. Like, I shouldn't be. So it's like weird. It's so weird. And I understand, like, how weird that sounds to people. But like I said, when you're a very fat person, nobody ever talks to you. They just don't. But now people are starting to, and I'm still really heavy. So it's like, I am looking better, but at the same time, my belly's huge. My socks are stretched out. My clothes are fitting differently. But I feel more depressed. But my stomach is bloated, and I have diarrhea. And the dark circles under my eyes, they're all over the place. They're coming and going. They get dark, and then they lighten up, and then they get super dark, and I'm itchy all over. Like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm understanding that I'm so, so, so fat that it's overwhelming my system to be losing all of it. And it sucks. And it really, I feel like shit because I've already done this before. And I feel so stupid that I did this to myself again. And I went back up, and it sucks. Because now I'm going through all of this again. And you guys don't know, but, I reached a point where I don't think I had fatty liver anymore when I was keto. Of course, my fucking brain cells were crazy, and I was a fucking massive cunt. And my relationship was probably in danger, or it entered me into a danger zone in my relationship because it was so bad, and I almost stopped talking to my mom. And, I didn't have a life, and I barely talked to any of my friends and stuff. It's like, yeah, I was a fucking bitch, and I was a cunt, but at least I was thinner, and at least I didn't have a fatty liver, so I didn't have these issues. Like, I was just starting to not have these issues, and I just couldn't handle it. I think because the mental health damage from my hormones being so bad, it just wasn't sustainable. I had to escape how I felt. And especially when the cats passed away and Corona started, like, I could not cope because my mental health was already so bad that any trigger was enough to send me into a spiral of binging. And it's like, when I think about it like that, it all makes sense to me, and I know that this is the last time I'm gonna have to deal with this. This is it. I'm having progress with my teeth. Like, I don't know how far it will go, but some of my cavities are actually healing, which is just crazy. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting it, but some of the smaller ones are filling in. They're going away. Which means, like, I probably gotten all my bone back, because from what I know, like, usually your body will take the calcium and stuff from your teeth first, and then your bone, and then it will give it to your bone first back, and then your teeth. That's just a hypothesis. I don't really know, but it has to do with parathyroid hormone being lower, and I'm eating plenty of dairy, plenty of calcium, and zinc and everything in meat and stuff, and it is getting better, and it's incredible. Some of the healing I have is incredible, but it just, in the mental health things too, like, I never thought I would reach a point of peace with my boyfriend. It was such a struggle for me, but I knew it was my problem, which was good, because then I didn't blame him, because I knew it was me. And just the peace in my relationships, like, I'm talking to more of my friends than ever, and I'm not really nasty anymore. But like I said, I'm entering into a season where I'm a little worse. So I guess just be aware of that. If I'm bitchier or kind of whatever, like, know that I don't necessarily want to be, and I don't want to be especially divisive or anything like that. Like, I'm not interested in that anymore. But if I slip into it, understand that it's hormonal, unfortunately. And I'm hoping that after this year, it will be over for good. Much like the pandemic. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this wasn't totally crazy, but thank you guys for listening regardless. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.